Hello and welcome to Curiosity's Sake, insert catchphrase here. So, I can't remember anymore the last time that I received a comment that actually addressed an issue with the show. But I got one, and this one was actually quite helpful. Told me that apparently my video would be 10 times better if it weren't for all the complaining. Well, I've done some real hard thinking over the last few days, and I finally figured out how to make this show 100% better. I'm going to eliminate all complaining from this show once and for all. Yeah. No more complaining from me. Okay, I'm gonna have to rethink this, because there's got to be some way to get rid of all the complaining. I guess I could just... That's it. I am never going to complain about this game. Whatever game I talk about today, I am going to 100% positive this thing. Nothing but positive, bright, happy thoughts for this game. Whatever this game is, any flaws, I will overlook and only talk about the positives. I will praise this game to the high heavens. There's got to be a game around it that I could play. Oh, there's one. It's an Xbox game. It must be good. Wait, hold on. Oh, shit. Well, let's begin. Two Worlds is a spectacular high fantasy masterpiece, carefully crafted over the course of 10 years by artisan game developers South Peak. This masterpiece, Two Worlds, was finally released in 2007, but sadly, those hacks, Bethesda, managed to fart out Morrowind and Oblivion in that time, and so, South Peak looked like a bunch of hack knockoffs in comparison. This is all probably true. I won't look it up though. You don't need to, because I've just told you everything that's true. Anyway, forgive me for skipping over the backstory of this game, but I'm just too excited to dive in head first. Now, considering that I threw my Xbox 360 copy down the stairs in a fit of insanity, I'm going to say that using my PC copy is probably a safer bet. So I put the disc in, and I'm immediately greeted by an installation screen to keep me engaged. It features a saucy temptress, who aside from needing new clothes, is perfect. I'm glad that South Peak understood that I'm a simple pervert man, and that I can easily be distracted by boobs, and that they were willing to cater to this fatal flaw I apparently have. So anyway, the game launches up and I have to fill in a form, listing my name, address, phone number, and postcode. I really like this because I don't get enough practice in filling out forms and shit, and maybe I need this practice, should I ever decide to emigrate to Australia someday. Anyway, as much as I love South Peak, I wasn't entirely confident that I could trust them with my details. I mean, This game is over 10 years old. They could have outsourced their data to some sub-company or something who aren't as reliable. So I decided to enter in the address and phone number of Britain First's headquarters instead, so that if it does put you on some sort of mailing or call list, at least nobody who matters will be hurt.
Come back. Come on, you're fucking... Steve, get back! Steve, back. You fuck off, you fucking foreign cunt. Go on.
Anyway, I'm obstructed by the game's clever anti-piracy system that locks you out of the game. If you install it on too many machines, it just basically stops you from playing it until you call them and ask them for permission. I love this kind of thing because it makes me feel like I'm in some sort of nursery or a concentration camp. I just feel so safe. Anyway, I tried ringing them, but sadly...
Hello, would you be willing to activate my copy of Two Worlds?
I'm sorry, sir, but due to the fact that nobody in their right minds likes Two Worlds, this service has been discontinued indefinitely. Please go fuck yourself and have a shitty day.
Oh. How disappointing.
So, I'm afraid I'll have to stick to the Xbox version for now, but oh well, it's not like there's any difference in quality. This game's perfect, no matter how you play it. So, we start off on this complex, deep and intriguing adventure that I hear is actually being played by the Royal Shakespeare Company in a theatre down in London as we speak. It truly is a deep and progressive tale which will be told for generations, passed down from father to son. It's most likely going to go over the heads of most commoners. I'll explain it to you in simple terms so that anyone can understand. Believe me, I'm a professor and I found it difficult to comprehend, so God help the rest of us. Apparently there was an orc Jesus, but he died on a crusade after he was slain by the humans. We don't actually get to see the crusade, and this game, from what I can tell, has nothing to do with it. Because, you know, it was boring, so who cares. Anyway, the orcs would like his body back, but the humans don't really feel like giving it away. I guess, like real humans, they're just arseholes. Anyway, they start to regret keeping it, because, well, it starts to stink. At least I think that's what they say. I don't know. I can understand if you might need to rewind that to catch up on this intricate plot that's been established thus far. I don't blame you if you do. This game is like the Donnie Darko of video games. Nobody's ever going to get this many twists and turns as the plot goes through on their first viewing, or even on their 20th. Hell, this is my third time playing this, and I'm still behind. So, I create my character, but he doesn't have a name, at least not one that I'm aware of, so I call him Captain Two Worlds. I decided to make him anorexic and short, so that he'd be able to body shame everyone he walks past. That's a good superhero power, right? I do love the sliders. They change so little of the character's appearance that it's hardly worth bothering. This game actually does have a recurring theme of pointlessness. No, not that the game is pointless, it's just that the pointless aspect of the game is actually ingenious allegory for the pointlessness of life itself. I also like how he has some kind of smile, like the one that I'm forcing right now. I mean the one that I'm wearing for this review. Anyway, Chesty LaRue, who is in the game now, is hurt. She's been scratched by something. I don't know, maybe if she'd worn some more appropriate clothing for travelling, it wouldn't have been so bad, but then again, maybe sex appeal is a good defence against wild animals and psychotic murderers in the woods. Knowing this game's brilliance, I'm just going to assume it is, because this game knows a lot more than I do. So, you might notice how stilted Captain Two Worlds speaks.
I do not have sufficient time.
It might sound like he's awkwardly written and badly acted, but this is actually a form of writing and acting that just transcends our understandings of brilliance to the point that it's truly masterful. Anyway, this hooded dude stands over her and asks if she thought she could escape him, which I'm pretty sure she obviously did if she actually tried running away from him, otherwise she'd just be like, nah, I guess I'll just stick around, but whatever, who cares. He has the perfect voice for his evil attire. I do love it when nightmare-looking guys sound like the protagonist of Dear Esther. It's such an intimidating and fitting voice for such a dark, mystique-filled character. Well, anyway, Captain Two Worlds steps out of his wrecked house that he apparently couldn't tell that it was empty just from a glance, because he's Captain Two Worlds and he always has to be sure. And he realises that she's been stolen by, well, Dear Nightmare and dragged off into the wilderness. It really does go to show that even a great hero like Captain Two Worlds can't win them all. So, Captain Two Worlds attempts to lightly call out her name, or maybe he's actually shouting, I don't know. Remember, I can't comprehend it. Anyway, we cut to these guys trying to cut wheat with scythes, but they're doing a rather shitty job of it since there isn't anything coming off of the wheat. Really, how are these guys still in business if they miss every swing? Maybe they could just try a simpler tool for the job, like a pair of shears? I don't know. Anyway, Captain Two Worlds arrives on the scene several months after walking around in the hills. I don't know what he was doing up there, but whatever. A peasant is immediately able to receive his arrival and runs off to tell the village elder. Captain Two Worlds actually speaks to the village elder, but he first chats shit with the locals, and I really do love Captain Two Worlds as a character. You can clearly hear the emotional drive in his voice as he speaks. He commands a great authority, and seriously seems to care about what he's saying. He's also a very down-to-earth man, talking down to common folk like the trash that they are, and insulting random strangers for no real reason whatsoever.
Methinks you have a touch of sunstroke, old man. Come, drink some water and lie down.
Other than, well, I guess they deserve it, I suppose. I also like how consistent he is. Like in this scene, where he acts like a no-nonsense Agent 47 character, but then in the next scene he's a dick, and in the next scene he's kind and caring. I always thought that consistency was about making sure that the characters' responses were all the same type. You know, kind of like John Marston, how he has consistency when he deals with different people in different ways for one reason or another, but Captain Two Worlds transcends that shit and is able to pull 3 archetypes off at once, possibly even more in the later stages of the game. So anyway, Captain Two Worlds has another read of his letter, which he hasn't opened until now because he was too busy walking around the countryside for 7 months, clearly. So he asks the village elder about some bodies, and he tells them about the ruins up north. But they dare not send anyone up there because even though the villagers can kill Captain Two Worlds in one hit, they're afraid of low-level enemies that you can find in the temple. So, after some brilliant dialogue and acting, explaining the truly intriguing lore of Two Worlds, or rather the lore of this grand temple, that will spend like 10 minutes in it as stretch, an exciting bit of music plays as I enter this majestic place, and inside I find hallways and 2 Groms there. Anyway, after a rather intense battle with the Groms, I unlock a dress, and I am now freely able to move and explore the deep and interesting world of Two Worlds. I love how there's absolutely no tutorialization, so that it more or less makes you self-reliant. If it told you things like how to equip items, that would most likely create a culture of dependency among its many fans. I love it when I have to play around for 10 minutes just to equip my armor. I mean, it does add lifespan to the game. Sorry, anyway, I'm getting distracted by this game's brilliance. So I head out into this magnificent world, and well, I have to admit the visuals are kinda nice. Actually no, I take that back, the visuals are sublime to the point that they pass any other title, even modern day ones. I read that the developers took an entire year during development, ensuring that no 2 places looked the same. Like, the textures aren't used more than once in each area. And it truly shows, since this is just absolutely stunning, and it's not repetitive in the slightest. Unlike that shit that they pull in Oblivion, where there's just a load of things to see and interact with, and dungeons to explore and shit, here it's just bare, wide open wasteland. And it just really is so much better. Aimlessly wandering around the countryside, getting killed by everything that you pass. It's just top-notch game design. Anyway, there's more dialogue with this Shrek-looking motherfucker.
Asked for you. People. Tell me more. Swiftly now.
Warriors. Hired ones. Not very friendly. One of them stayed to await your return.
Ha! The elder clearly thought I would run rather than meet this man. Forsooth, 'twas generous, but he now has lost the chance to save money.
I do not understand.
Where I come from, no one pays unless forced to.
Nay, in Talmont, we honor good work.
Yeah. Dialogue. Right, so now we're off. Almost immediately I meet some Groms who are looking to avenge their uncle, or whoever the fuck I killed earlier, and so I engage them in battle. Oh well. As I said earlier, this game is a lot harder for a simpleton like me to grasp than any other. Like everything else in this game, the combat has many layers as well, and it isn't simply just mashing the right trigger and praying to God that you'll hit something eventually. A true Two Worlds master might actually be able to win a fight, only dying 3 times in the process. I also love how when you die you just teleport to some random nearby shrine. It means that there's absolutely no weight to dying, because it's just a minor inconvenience at best. And I think this really does increase the intensity of a fight, because you genuinely believe that there's nothing on the line, and that usually makes you fight harder. Okay, so the gods bring back Captain Two Worlds just outside the village. I realise that though this dress is very fetching, I need to focus more on wearing tough, hard armour than looking pretty. That, and I was getting a bit sick of having to shave my legs. Anyway, I'm back at the village, and it's here that I encounter
dinosaurs.
Anyway, I take a breather to admire the scenery, and this twat starts talking to me. I mean, this truly lovable character endears me with one of his many scenes of character development. He apparently works for the Brotherhood. They don't say what Brotherhood he's talking about though, so I'm guessing that they work for the Brotherhood of Ice Buns. I don't know, it's a worthy guess. I walk a little further down the line and get spoken to by a number of other lovable characters, one of which is Dear Esther Nightmare. Wait, am I supposed to have forgotten that I saw him earlier at this point? Seriously, I'm asking, I don't know. I love how this game knows that if I'm stood next to a character, I certainly want to talk to them. I couldn't have just happened to be stood next to them. It's just like real life, that you always engage in conversation with whoever you stood next to. So, he tells me to go somewhere, but not to sound like an ingrate, but I want to explore the landscape before I immerse myself in this gripping tale. So, I decide to just make my excuses and leave him before running off into the wilderness. I met some Groms and decided to get my revenge. I even managed to kill them all without dying. Someone is mastering this game's complex combat system. Oh, and then I met some more Groms and I died. Then I met some truly worthy foes. Horses. On guard, horse bastards, you must die! I just love how the stable hands just stand there and watch this happen. They don't seem to give a shit and just let me assault their livestock, just like they would in real life. Oh well, they're only our livelihood, no need to get too upset about them dying. One of the truly innovative things about this game is how it processes as the game goes, and it more or less stops you from moving for a few seconds, whilst it waits for the game to catch up. I love this, since it truly has me on the edge of my seat, unsure as to whether or not the game's crashed, or if it's busy loading in. Oh, and I got killed by dogs again. As I'm brought back to life, I find a castle and I make my way over there, but I'm ambushed by these furry fiends. I do my best to fend them off, but I die. A lot. Captain Two Worlds isn't the hero that this world needs right now, but he is the one that it deserves. Actually, no, I take that back. Nobody deserves Captain Two Worlds. It's over, Captain Two Worlds. I have the high ground. No, I will win. So, I arrive at this castle, but I'm suddenly ambushed by wolves. Well, Captain Two Worlds shall not be pushed around this time. Have at you, you vile creatures. I said, have at. Well, bugger this. I'll go and get one of my tougher friends to deal with it. Ha! Get him, Nigel! Oh shit, Vine Mongrel still cometh for me! Ha! Ha! Another victory for Captain Two Worlds. So, I spend some time here and interact with two of the locals, but my heart is just getting too attached to all of these well-rounded and wonderful characters. Eventually I'm forced to go back onto the road as quick as I arrived. I may have jumped off of a cliff and accidentally broken both my legs. Might have. Possibly. Maybe. Oh, and I get mauled by a bear. Oh fuckery, I'm being chased by wolves again. What be this? A guardsman on the road? Sanctuary at last! Guardsman, do me the honour of murdering these vile feral hounds. Ha! You saved me! How splendid! But sadly I must murder you for your superior equipment. Have at ye! Sire, could you please stop? Is minorly annoying. On guard! Oh, why can't you wankers just leave me alone? Well, I think I deserve that one. I do love the combat in this game. Like how nearly every enemy in this game is able to more or less kill you in a few hits. As I said, it really fits with this game's central theme of futility. Every time I try to take control of my destiny, I get killed and reminded that no matter how hard I try, life will always be futile. Now, the last thing that I want to address in this review is that you can actually beat this game in under 2 minutes. How exactly? Well, apparently if you get the Dear Esther Nightmare guy to attack you and then lead him back to the village, he'll be surrounded by the entire town and beaten to death. And he is apparently the final boss, so this completes the game. I attempted it myself, and well, it didn't exactly work to plan.
Put away that weapon!
Oh, I am dreadfully sorry, sir. I did not mean to offend anyone. Oh, fuck's sake! Ha! My plan worked! Get him, my minions! Get him and destroy him for me!
This was yours.
It seems that I'll need to go back to the drawing board. Oh lord, help! I didn't mean it! Ah! Protect me, young knight. Oh shit, never mind. Well, it seems that this plan is kind of backfiring. Not only is nothing happening to his health, but the villagers are dropping like flies. It would seem that this is a patched version of the game, and that this guy is now invincible. Though my version of the Xbox hasn't been patched, it's more than possible that the PC version was released first, and the Xbox version had a few patches on it to fix these glaring issues. Wow. I wasn't exactly wrong about them not needing this hero, huh? Thanks to Captain Two Worlds, there's one less town in the world. After destroying one town, I decided to try it again with a different town. I led Dear Esther Nightmare away to a more populated area, but it sadly just didn't work. He kind of just gave up halfway at a certain point and just put his sword away and gave up. Ugh, bollocks to it. It's crueler to let him live. Oh, turning your back, eh? Yes, you better run. Excuse me. Nothing. Bah! I cannot stand by and do nothing any longer. I must do something to save the day. Die, vile Fletcher. And so ends the tale of Captain Two Worlds, as the gods got so sick of reviving his worthless arse that they decided that it would be better off leaving him dead, rewinding history, and creating a new incarnation of Captain Two Worlds who will hopefully not be as much of a useless twat. Oh, and they made this one even fuck uglier. I did try it again, and it didn't work. This guy's immortal, I guess. Two Worlds is an amazing, deep, masterfully crafted product that can only get better with time. I will spend the rest of my life spinning the tale of Two Worlds, and when my time comes I will pass it to my children and they will spin it to theirs, and it will live forever beyond time itself. Whew. Oh, I got through this whole review without saying that Two Worlds is shit. So, Theodore, what do you think of Two Worlds? It's fucking shit! Is that it? Yeah! What else is there to say about it?
That's a good game.
Fuck off, Loz. In fact, yeah, Loz thinks it's a good game. That says everything about it. It's a shit game for twats like Loz.
And twat in the heart like Joe.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that. Finally, we agree on something.
We all know you think it's a good game for you.
I think it's shit.
Stop lying to yourself.
Why are you so shit at FIFA, Loz?
Because you suck my arse.
Excuse me?
Nothing.
Fucking prick.
Yeah.
This is fucking acceptable. I'll be back in a bit.
Hello. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Fuck off, Loz.